Good morning to you and good morning Africa. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Africa live on Coin News Extra TV, Cnetv. So I'm your host for this show, Lee. So how was the weekend? I know all of us, we had a beautiful weekend. So this is another morning show to helping you get started for the day. We have breakdown for the show. How is it going to be run? We are going to be looking at, after now, we'll be looking at some inspirations. So we're going to be looking at motivational words and a way of motivating you to kickstarting your day. So after that, we'll look at some of the market updates. We'll be able to look at what are the markets really saying. We are going to be looking at, as usual, crypto markets. We're going to be looking at commodity, stock, and FS markets, respectively. So we're going to be looking at after that, we'll look at some of the headlines. So the trending headlines. So we'll first of all run a highlight of some of the headlines last week, and also we'll be able to look at what happened last weekend. The show runs from Monday to Fridays, 7 a.m. West African time. So we'll be able to get you some of the updates, some of the trending headlines that happened over the weekend. So after that, we will be having some other discussions. Today, we are not going to be having a guest. I want to be having guests who will be making their opinion. But today we will not be having that. So we'll be having some discussions on our own here, and we'll be looking at some of the things we should know in the blockchain space. What we'll be looking at, decentralized autonomous organization (DAO). I know some of us may have been hearing it, and we'll be asking questions. What is actually a DAO? So those are things we'll be answering, those questions you're asking about DAO. So just stay tuned. After that, we'll be able to call it a day for the show. So a lot of discussions in the cryptocurrency market, most especially. We also, part of the headlines, we'll be looking at Luna. How is it performing? We saw some moves by Luna over the weekend. So these are more we'll be looking into when we return. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show, Good Morning Africa, live on Cnetv. So let's take a look at our word for today. So we'll be looking at happiness. So I just chose that word because I know happiness is a vital key to human life. So whatever it is, be happy. So it not depends on what you feel is happiness. Happiness is being defined by different people in different ways. So when you talk about happiness, different people tend to look at happiness more like money. So they look at it, it's only money that gives happiness, and that's not totally the truth. So money is not all about happiness. So happiness is not dependent on money. So there are different ways you can derive joy and happiness. So it not depends on how you want it. So it's about what you do, for example, how do you see it? So people have things that make them happy. So it ranges from money, properties, even fulfillment of life, achievement, and all the rest of them. But happiness is whatever gives you happiness, just stick to it. But what I want you to understand is that money doesn't give. It's not all about happiness. It's not about money. So also in the crypto space, some people tend to tie their happiness to the crypto market. So they're only happy when the cryptocurrency market is doing well. Their particular cryptocurrency they bought is doing well. So that is not actually happiness, total happiness. Some other people tie it to other persons, maybe their spouse or anything. They tie their happiness to such persons, but that is not it. You're making a big mistake. So it's within. Happiness is within. What gives you that happiness? What is it that gives you that happiness? Some tie it to helping people, which is good. Some are happy when they see others are doing well. So some are happy when they help people. Some are happy when they make impact in the ecosystem, and that's a good one. So when you make impact, see your environment, your community are doing well, or your neighbors doing well, you are very happy, and that's a very good one. So some the negative way, some are happy when they see maybe someone around them not doing well, so they derive joy in all those happiness. So we have to stay happy. So whatever is it that gives you happiness, stick to it, but make sure it's the right thing. So that's our word for today. So we'll be looking at some of the cryptocurrency market. So we're looking at, I was able to look at the crypto market, most especially we saw what's really happened over the weekend with Luna 2.0 launching and skyrocketing and bouncing back. I know there have been what happened on Bybit, where Luna rose to almost $30 before it now went down to $3 and retraced at $5. These are more we'll be looking at when we return. So we'll go for a short break. When we return, we'll look at the different markets. We will be right back. Good morning, Africa. Live on Cnetv. So let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market. So after that, we'll look at FX, commodity, and stocks. So let's start with cryptocurrency market. We could see some excitement in the crypto market, but not that much. But we see that the cryptocurrency market is bouncing back a little. We see I was able to check crypto Twitter. I see some excitement by comments people make. So a lot of people are so excited about the cryptocurrency market. So we could see that the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization gained 5.2% in the last 24 hours. So that's currently at $1.329 trillion. So that's the figure there is 1.329133995 So that's still around that $1.329 trillion. So that's for the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization. So we look at the trade volume for in the last 24 hours cryptocurrency total trade volume. You see it's at $66 billion, 66.09769469. So that's the trade volume in the last 24 hours. So if you look at the dominance, there are BTC dominance. Bitcoin is dominating by 43.8%, followed by Ether at 17.3%. So we look at the entire cryptocurrency market. We look at the top performing cryptos and the top ones by top cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. So we could see there that Bitcoin is currently trading at $30,718. So I know those are live stats and it's still fluctuating. I know Bitcoin is trading between 35 to 37. That was what it has been trading this morning. And I see so many excitement by crypto Twitter. So they are, I don't know, Bitcoin has really crossed this price mark before recently, but I don't know in this case, a lot of excitement, and there are predictions that things may get better in the crypto market, but those are speculations. So always do your due diligence. So you look at that, you see that Bitcoin has really gained in the last 24 hours. It has gained 5.79%. So that's what it has gained in the last 24 hours. So we look at Ethereum there. Ether is currently trading at $1,906. We see that Ether before the weekend was trading around 1,700, around that price mark. We see that it has really gained a lot. 1,900 is trying to climb back to 2,000 price mark. So if you look at that, you see that it has gained 6.84% in the last 24 hours. So let's look at BNB. BNB there has gained 6.31%, currently trading at $320. So BNB there trading at $320. I must say that BNB has really maintained that trading price. It fluctuates even before the weekend. It was trading between 300 to 305. So BNB has really been maintaining that 300 price mark. Let's see how it performs. So $0.40. So that's what Ripple is currently trading at SRP, gaining 5.44%. We look at Cardano. Cardano, that's ADA, currently trading at 0.52. It has gained 12.58% in the last 24 hours. Solana DSO currently trading at $46.693. So it has gained 10% in the last 24 hours. Dogecoin, which is also in the news. There are some news around Doge there. We could see that Elon Musk announced that Twitter merchandise can be bought with Doge. Sometimes it says some can be bought with Doge, but it seems now that all the Tesla merchandise are going to be bought with Doge. We saw Doge doing well by that announcement. After that, it's corrected back, but we could see now that it's not doing bad. 0.085. So trading at 8 cents there. It has gained 5.79% in the last 24 hours. So we look at other markets. We take a look at stock market. How is stock really performing? So if you look at stock there, we have Apple currently at 149.64. That's for Apple there. We look at Intel currently trading at 44.55. So we look at Microsoft on that list, currently trading at 273.24. So Alphabet C, so we could also see that it's currently trading at 2.26k. So let's look at Amazon there. So I'll be selecting them. Amazon 2.30k. Tesla at 705.963. So that's we can take on that. That's how far we can go on stock. So we look at commodities. How is the commodity market really faring this morning? So if you look at commodity market there, you see gold at $1,862.10. So you look at silver. Silver currently at $22.277 there. We look at copper. Copper at 4.3505 there. You could see the changes on the screen. You look at platinum at 949.90. So those changes are on the screen. We could also look at palladium. Palladium at $2,072.52 there. So we look at Brent oil at 106. That's 116.40. So we are away from that commodity. We'll move away from there and we'll move to FS. So let's look at how the Forex market is really doing this morning. So if you look at that, euro against USD, you'll be able to see that it's at 1.0761. So that's what euro is trading against USD. Pounds is trades against USD at 1.2643. USD against Japanese yen, it's currently at 127.13. So pounds against USD, you see 1.2643. USD. So a lot of them there. I don't want us to continue going down there. So those are how the Forex market is really performing. We see by look of things, most these markets are not doing bad. From crypto, stock, forex, commodity, all is really bouncing back. So they are not doing badly. So that's how we see it on market update today. So we have a lot of programs around that, which will be coming out very soon on how to understanding the market, most especially the cryptocurrency and forex market. We are compiling those programs. It will be coming your way soon. So stay tuned on this show. Once it's ready, we'll make those announcements here. So it's Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. So this show, remember, comes your way every 7 a.m. West African and time. And so it's Good Morning Africa. Right now is Good Morning all everywhere in Africa. So we know in Ghana, in Nigeria now is 7:30 a.m. In Ghana is 6:30 a.m. In Kenya is 9:30 a.m. So different people, different time, but we are still in the morning hours. So Good Morning Africa. We are going to be bringing the headlines now, but that will come after a short break. So when we return, we will be coming your way with the trending headlines, starting with the ones that happened last week. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show, Good Morning Africa, live on Cnetv. So you can participate or stay updated about trending news in the blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem by following us across all our social media handles at Cnetv1. So you'll be able to stay updated. So it's Good Morning Africa. Currently, we are at the trending headlines. For today, we're going to be starting, since this is the beginning of the week. It's a beautiful Monday morning over here. So we'll be looking at some of the headlines last week that we looked on. Just the headlines that we looked on last week. So Monday last week, we looked at Bitcoin Pizza Day celebration, which happened over the weekend. So we were able to look at what a Bitcoin Pizza Day is, what it signifies for the crypto community, and how the top cryptocurrency companies and exchanges over the world, all over the world, celebrated the Bitcoin Pizza Day. So we looked at how I celebrated it and how the cryptocurrency market reacted to that particular Bitcoin Pizza Day. We looked at Luna and its recovery process. Then I know Luna is also at a recovery process, at its recovery process, but it has gone past what we saw last week. So we looked at SEC Nigeria crypto regulations. We got comments from industry leaders. So we also that was the headlines on Monday. So on Tuesday we looked at some other headlines. Crypto Valley Venture Capital launches African blockchain early stage fund. We also looked at African crypto startup raises 30 million to build a Web3 WeChat. World Economic Forum 2022. Bankers at that conference, at that forum, they saw reasons for creation and creation of CBDC there. We also saw eBay has dropped its first NFT collection to non-crypto mainstream buyers. So we looked at what the law means for the the challenges that UST is currently facing. So we looked at that briefly. So we also brought you some of the updates. CNE Dubai Media Tour, where we informed you that the CNE team met with the private office of His Excellency, His Royal Highness Sheikh Al-Bidin Fisa Al-Qasim, and other crypto stakeholders. So on Wednesday, we looked at Stripe now allowing their merchant to convert payments into Bitcoin automatically using OpenNode. Still on Wednesday, Central African Republic looks to become crypto zone due to the impose a zero tax on BTC gains and income. Coinbase has entered the Fortune 500, coming in at number 437 there. They became the first crypto company to join the list with over 7.8 billion in physical revenue in 2021. So we are able to look at what that really means, the Fortune 500. So in case you missed it, you could also go back to that video for our show Good Morning Africa on Wednesday, that's 25th May. You'll be able to get the details of this. Balenciaga now accept Bitcoin and crypto. This coming a few weeks after Swiss luxury watchmaker Tag Heuer dived into the crypto space. SEC Nigeria crypto regulations. CBN still mute after SEC regulation, and they are still mute till now. More update on CNE Dubai tour. Thursday headlines. Kristalina Georgieva, managing director of IMF News, calls for interoperability between different CBDCs at the World Economic Forum. About 65%, that's on Luna, 65% addresses has voted yes to Luna 2.0. We saw that Luna 2.0 launching over the weekend, so that particular launch has really happened. So it was set to launch that tomorrow. It happened on Friday. So we could also see that Huobi, Bitrue, Binance, and other top exchanges set to support Luna 2.0. We showed you some of those announcements by these top cryptocurrency exchanges. We now know that KuCoin has already listed that particular token, talking about Luna. So Ripple will explore IPO after SEC lawsuit, and says CEO Brad Garlinghouse. So that was it for Thursday. Friday, we had these headlines. Elon Musk will continue with Twitter acquisition. KuCoins to support Luna migration and airdrop. We also brought you on Friday CBN debunked withdrawal of Naira notes from circulation. So we had some discussions around that too. Binance to distribute Luna 2.0 airdrop to eligible users based on Terra's project distribution plan, and Binance is going to be doing that distribution by tomorrow. Though some other exchanges have listed Luna 2.0, but Binance is here to list that, and it has come with some misreactions and some speculations about the price of Luna. Saying that Binance has a major influence in the crypto market, and they are yet to list that particular crypto, new Luna 2.0, and the price is at around $5. And so speculations that when listed on Binance, the price could change. I don't know which way it will go. Many are saying it will go up. But let's see how it unfolds. King of Thailand announces 0% VAT on crypto transfers until the end of 2023. We also brought you that Fed Vice Chair Lael Brainard says stablecoins could coexist with CBDC. Crypto exchanges supporting Luna 2.0. We brought it to you that FTS, Bybit, Bitrue, Bitgate, Huobi, Lbank, HitBTC, Gate.io, KuCoin, Bitfinex, Binance, Crypto.com, and Upbit. We also brought you that Paraguay is very close to regulating Bitcoin and crypto mining. We also brought you the Cnetv Dubai media tour. So that's it for last week. Let's look at what we have this week. That's Monday, the trending headlines. So we're able to get you some that happened over the weekend. So the trending headlines are for Monday, 30th May 2022 on Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. So number one there is Thailand's biggest bank, Siam Commercial Bank, that's SCB, is using DeFi compound finance treasury yield service. So we're going to be giving you more updates, but let me read out the headlines that we have. So Luna 2.0 launch. So we're going to be looking at how did the cryptocurrency market react to that launch. I brought you some update on how the price went when it was listed on Bybit. It was listed around $0.5, and it went as high as $30 before retracing, going back to $3, and now currently trading around $5. So I also learned that Bybit was one of the first crypto exchanges to list that particular token. So we'll be able to look at the price update. So let's see if really the community recovered. The distribution, there was a way it was done. The people that had a Luna before the crash were compensated. And the compensation, the airdrop, it was different from the people that had a Luna after the crash. So we'll be able to see if this really, with the price we are seeing, is a good one for them. A lot of people lost their money during that crash. So we'll be able to look at what does the future hold for Luna. So with it, we know that two tokens are currently trading. So the Luna Classic and the current Luna. So industry leaders lament as Nigeria hires a foreign firm to develop national wallet. So this is not the first time that we are seeing this. Nigerian government hiring a foreign firm to do whatever, everything. Even we could see it during the e-Naira. So it wasn't a Nigerian blockchain or crypto or fintech company or startup that handled that project. It was a foreign project. It was a foreign firm that handled that particular project. So I'll giving you more details on that. What does that mean? So does it mean that the government doesn't really believe in its companies, local companies and startups? So those are more we'll be looking at. So we'll be able. The next headline there is over the weekend, Elon Musk announced on Twitter that Tesla merchandise can be bought with Doge. So soon SpaceX merchandise may come. So we'll be looking at that. We saw a Twitter user asking Elon Musk if we'll be able to pay for Starlink subscription via Doge, and Elon Musk replied maybe one day. So there are possibilities that almost all the Tesla merchandise and anything that is associated with Elon Musk may be bought with Doge cryptocurrency. So we're also looking at Elon Musk trying to acquire Twitter, and if he goes ahead, are we going to be seeing Doge being used for premium premium account or upgrade, so or for our payment of advertisement and campaign on Twitter? So those we are going to be looking at. It's Elon Musk trying to give life. I know he has been giving oxygen to Doge for quite a long time now. So we'll be looking at Starlink. Starlink by Elon Musk has been approved by Nigeria, Mozambique. So this was made known by Elon Musk on Twitter. So, and we've seen a lot of discussion there, most especially in Nigeria. So that is going to be Starlink is going to start operation, and that's by Q3 of this year. So our Q3 is by the corner. So there are discussions on how fast that Starlink is going to be. So some have said that some of the challenges and maybe weather, you could see with satellite TVs, weather could affect it. We could also see on Starlink website that there are ways you could position the receiver for it not to be affected by weather. So these are what we are going to be looking at. But the main discussion there is we now see that we're going to be having fast internet connectivity. It doesn't, since it's a satellite connection, it means that both the rural and urban dwellers are going to be having the same rate, speed when it comes to internet connection. So wherever you are, you have possibilities of having fast internet connection, unlike the normal ones we see, which is dependent on region. So let's see how that plays out. What is Starlink and how does it work? We'll be looking at that. When are they starting operation in Nigeria, which is Q3? So we're going to be looking at what this really means for the startup ecosystem in Nigeria and also for the Nigerian economy. So many startups and operations in Nigeria depends on internet connection. So I must tell you, we have not been having the best of internet connection, even in urban areas. There have been many challenges. Most times or sometimes the network fluctuates. So let's see how Starlink is going to be able to solve this. So let's take a look at next headline there. So we'll be looking, not really a headline. So we'll be looking at what crypto travel rule is. So there have been crypto travel rule. So that rule is it helps the regulators look into money laundering. So it has been in existence, but it's been applicable to financial institutions. But we see that being extended to cryptocurrency. They call it virtual asset service providers. So that has also been extended to this ecosystem. So they want to be able to see that cryptocurrencies are not being used for terrorism financing, money laundering, and all the rest of illegal activities. So we'll be looking at that. I have some articles that I'll be reading out, and we'll see how that is going to work, so that we'll be able to understand what that really means. I must tell you, I'll be hearing about crypto travel rules, and I feel I have not really paid attention, not until recent time. So, and I saw some publications I was online, so I felt I should share with us so that we'll be able to understand. So it's really this crypto travel rule is applicable to everyone. So brief about that is that it gives crypto, most especially cryptocurrency exchanges, they are being compelled to be able to share information of users. So they demand in United States is around $3,000. When you have a transaction that is up to $3,000. So the exchanges goes back and forth. The exchange you are sending to and the exchange that is receiving it, so shares the information of the sender and the receiver, to the authorities. So that's to be able to check cryptocurrency if it is being used for illicit activities. So but the major some other areas, $1,000 is the limit there. So once you make a transaction, a single transaction that is up to $1,000, you'll be able, your informations will be shared. So both the receiver and the sender's information will be shared to the authorities. So we'll be looking at that. We have an article that we'll be reading out for us to understand what this really means, and I know it is very, very important we look at it. So that's the headlines we have for now. So we'll be going for a short break. When we return, I'll be able to be reading out some of these headlines and some of the content of these headlines, so that we'll be able to understand what we are really saying. So it's not about having the headlines. We want you to be able to understand what the headlines are saying. So thank you very much. That's the news headline, trending headlines on live on Cnetv on the show Good Morning Africa. So we'll be going for a short break. When we return, I will be looking deeper into the trending headlines. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's Good Morning Africa, live on Cnetv. This show comes your way every weekday, 7 a.m. West African time, live on Cnetv. So do well to follow us across all our social media handles at Cnetv, so that you'll be able to get the latest updates when it comes to blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem. So interesting morning it has really been with all the motivations. We have a motivation word. We also brought you the headlines. We also brought you the market updates. And so we are going to be looking more on the market, not market update, looking at the trending headlines. So we'll be looking at the trending headlines. I've been able to list those headlines that we have today. Then we'll be looking at it. So number one there is Thailand's biggest bank, Siam Commercial Bank, is chasing DeFi yield through compound. So you see, we're going to be looking at what centralized exchanges are currently supporting. So the mistake. So those are we'll be able to look at Thailand's biggest bank commercials. That's Thailand's biggest bank, Siam Commercial Bank, using DeFi compound treasury yield services. So we'll be looking at that. I'll be reading out some of the stories surrounding that, so that we'll be able to understand more about this, what this really means. So I know a lot of banks are looking towards DeFi. DeFi is really what many of these banks are currently looking at, because they are finding a way to enter into that particular market. We know that Compound is a leader there, and AVE also is doing well when it comes to DeFi. Those are more established DeFi platforms. So the headlines are very, very interesting this morning. So after that, we'll look at Luna. So we'll look at what Luna is really doing, Luna 2.0 launch. So we'll be going for a short break. When we return, I'll be able to give you more details on these headlines. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. We'll be looking at the headlines for today. Thailand biggest bank is exploring the option of a DeFi. So they are doing that through compound finance treasury yield services. According to that story, with that Bangkok headquarters Siam Commercial Bank, which is also the oldest and one of the biggest bank in Thailand, has entered the decentralized finance realm via compound treasury, the lending platform's institution-focused services. Digital venture arm of the bank is a subsidiary called SCB10X that was launched at the beginning of 2020 with deposit funds into compound treasury, kind of institutional wrapper that leverages custody firm Fireblocks, the company said. So that's according to the company. So the service converts US dollar into fiat backed USDC on compound, which allow institutions to earn fixed annual yield of 4%. So that fixed annual yield is 4%. The size of SCB10X allocation into compound treasury was not disclosed. So an S&P global rating of the platform earlier this morning revealed that the platform had only 20 customers and 180 million invested at the end of April. So large institutions, we know that large institutions, including banks, have been eyeing the DeFi space with services like compound treasury and EV offering compound finance and EV offering a serviceable entry point. So that's it for that headline. So that's a brief we can take there. We see that is going to be made possible through compound finance. So that's a welcome development. We see that these large institutions are looking towards DeFi. So it's a very good one. So let's see how that unfolds. So next headline we'll be looking at, I just want to read some articles around these headlines. If you look at Luna, so we'll be looking at Luna 2.0 launch. So what Luna did 60x. So Luna 2.2 pumped over the weekend and did 60x on Bybit, like I said earlier on. But it later went down as low as $3, and now it's currently trading at $5. You look at Luna 2.0 price today, launched when it was launched 0.5 on Bybit. A few hours, and a few other crypto exchanges, and pumped 6,000% up to $30 on Bybit before it corrected to around $13 to $16 within an hour. So the Luna and USDT spot price then dropped to around $5 to $7 at parity with other crypto exchanges. Then had parity with other crypto exchange price. So this was happening on Bybit. Then it now hit at a low of $3.50 before bouncing. So the old Luna had its own reaction to the bank. So the old Luna you look at has now been renamed to Terra. So it has been renamed to Terra Classic. So you see the ticker there, LUNC. That's the ticker for the old Luna, reflecting on CoinMarket cap and a second listing added for the few Terra Luna. On CoinMarket and cranking the Luna 2.0 price, Terra 2.0 as some are calling it, was initially priced around $7 to $9 during the time it was much higher on Bybit. So when it was very high on Bybit, it was trading around $7 to $9 on other cryptocurrency exchanges, and we saw high volume there on Bybit. So we'll be able to see the total supply of Luna 2.0 coins is 1 billion. So that particular crypto is coming out with a total supply of 1 billion, but the current circulating supply is 210 million. So that's the current circulating supply of Luna. So similar to that of the old Terra Luna, which had 350 million tokens in circulation just before the May 12 crash and hyperinflation. Market conditions are highly volatile. So even that reminds me, even Binance, if they are listing Luna tomorrow, they are going to be listing it at Innovation Zone. What it really means, Innovation Zone for Binance is a place, a market where cryptos that are highly volatile are listed. So you are being cautioned whenever you go into that Innovation Zone on Binance. That is a volatile cryptocurrency that you're going to be trading. So because I know why they are listing it at that Innovation Zone is because of nobody really can predict or understand how Luna 2.0 is going to be trading when it's been listed. So it will stay for Innovation Zone for now. That's coming from Binance. So let's see, do we think Luna will go up again? According to this article, whether that week to $30 is still viable. So let's see if Luna will still go back to $30 that it did on Bybit. Whether that week to $30 will be filled after the bounce in the days to come remains to be seen. Bybit does have a high trading volume. Its traders are often referred to as Bybit apes on crypto Twitter. And one theory in technical analysis is that most short-term price weeks do get filled eventually or close to it. Price moves to find buyers and sellers, testing the resisting different supply and demand zones on the price chart. So Binance is yet to list Luna, although confirmed they would, and eToro hasn't announced if they will. Many on social media are bearish and predict the new Luna will go to zero again, calling the pump and dump of Terra 2.0 a second scam by Do Kwon, who is the CEO and Terraform Labs. The new Terra market cap is under 1 billion, having been 1.4 billion earlier when it was listed, with a fully diluted market cap of $4 billion. The valuation will change rapidly as more exchanges add Luna. Meanwhile, the old Luna Terra Classic price had dropped back to $0.001, down 20% in the past 24 hours, with a market cap of 650 million. So that's it on that particular Luna story. So let's see how all this play out, most especially tomorrow when it will be listed on Binance. We know that Binance has a lot of influence in the crypto market. Let's see how that plays out. So what I'm also thinking, those that have participated when it was listed 0.5 on dollars on Bybit, a lot of people might have made a lot of money by that particular price. You know, that price lasted when it went to $30. It lasted around 20 minutes before it corrected. So let's see how all these stories play out. So we're going to be looking at next there we have an article around Nigeria. Nigeria government they have really been able. This article tagged it the mistake of a nation as Nigeria hires a foreign firm to develop a wallet. Consider that on Tekedia. So interesting that Nigeria will contract a foreign company on this critical infrastructure of the future to develop Nigeria's official platform for commercialization of all IP in the country on Algorand. Like I have noted, Nigeria would have developed a semi-defense industry if we have a regulation that says that 20% of our defense expenditure must be spent on local suppliers. So a few days after the Nigerian Security and Exchange Commission released new regulation that will guide the Nigerian crypto space and the entire digital industry, the federal government has made a move suggesting that it may back it up. On Tuesday, Coinbanks announced during Twitter Space session it co-hosted with Fred Estent that the federal government has entered a 3-year inclusive IPR intellectual property right agreement with developing African group to launch a national wallet for Nigeria. Per People's Gazette, the agreement grants Developing African Group, a regional software development company, the right to create an official platform for Nigerians to upload any form of IP rights and trade, sell, or exchange them abroad while collecting the royalties and proceeds of these operations on their wallet. If that happens, many startups will mushroom to serve the military, and the paralysis of fighting Boko Haram and other mayhem would have created industry that could possibly serve other African countries. We did not do that. And on blockchain, cryptocurrency, e-naira, etc., we have decided that hiring foreign firms is the way to go. That is to change. I mean, we have to believe in these young people and give them the opportunity to fail or thrive. What is really wrong with the men making this decision? Must everything be done by foreigners in Nigeria? Why can't the government task its young people, as India, Brazil, South Africa, and other at-par countries are doing? So that's a brief on the Kedia there on that particular subject matter. So we're seeing, like I mentioned earlier, that Nigeria is really contracting most of its projects out. So that's not a good one for a nation like this that has many startups, and most especially in this ecosystem. So that's our headline. Reminds me of what really happened during the e-naira time, when the e-naira was contracted out. So we had, I know Nigeria, we have a lot of startups that could do that, but instead that contract was awarded to a foreign firm, which has really but what that should have done is a way of encouraging startup. You see that even with the ACC coming up with their regulations, and you are coming up with that amount, 800 and something million naira, about $1.2 million for those licensing fees and all the rest of them. And after doing that, you are not patronizing those startups that are doing well to sustain your economy. So those are things that should be looked on. So because it's not a good one, you see that other countries are looking to encourage their startups. You could award those contracts to maybe one or two firms if you feel that one startup or company in your country may not handle it. Why not award it to two different startups, so they will come together and go about that particular project than going to awarding it to outsiders? It doesn't tell well about us. So we look at the next headline there. We're looking at Elon Musk on Twitter. So they will be able to really, let's understand what this is all about. So an article here, we're going to be looking at what this really means. So it's a welcome development. We know that that is a good one. So we're going to be having, so because fast internet data prices, many other reasons reasons Nigerians are excited. So some are excited, some are worried as well because of the prices as well. I know a lot of people have been talking about the prices there. So when you look at the price, but first of all, let's have the internet speed. So let's see how that is going to be playing out on that. So despite the excitement around Elon Musk Starlink approval by the Nigerian government, there are a few reasons why Nigerians may be worried. So look at, on Friday it was revealed his telecommunication company Starlink has received approval from the Nigerian Communication Commission. Nigeria has now joined the other 32 nations that have faster internet, but the data pricing may raise an eyebrows. So let's see how those eyebrows are going to be going because of the data prices there. So since the news on Friday, May 27, 2022, that Elon Musk Starlink will be coming to Nigeria, many Nigerians have rushed to social media to express their delight. So that particular Starlink is going to be, because it's going to be helping. The challenges we are facing, like I mentioned earlier, is internet connectivity, and a lot of businesses are tied to internet connection. So once that particular Starlink from Elon Musk does well in the Nigerian space, we are going to be seeing an amazing thing happen there. So we'll be looking at that. I don't want us to dwell much on that. So that's it from Starlink. We'll be looking at also Elon Musk announces on Twitter that Tesla merchandise can be bought with Doge. Soon SpaceX merchandise will join. So that's a good one. We saw that when the announcement was made by Elon Musk, that the price of Doge went up a bit, so before it also corrected. But it's a good one. If you take a look at Doge, Elon Musk has really believed that it is the currency for the internet, and he has been doing a lot to make sure that our Doge gains value, because Doge is a meme coin, it's a meme cryptocurrency that is not tied to anything. So but we've seen what Elon Musk is really doing to adding value to that particular cryptocurrency. Sometimes because of Elon Musk backing that particular crypto Doge, it's really skyrocketed to trading around 70 cents, even though it is trading at 8 cents at the moment. So we see that there are possibilities that there is hope that Doge may gather or gain more value, but that's not a financial advice. Always do your own research. But that's, from the look of things, we see that Doge is gaining potentials because of what Elon Musk is really doing around that. You see that if DAO is possible, that's another use case for this particular cryptocurrency Doge, going to be used on to buy merchandise on Tesla. That's Tesla merchandise, and also SpaceX, which is a good one. So it's going to be having more value. So we look at how that plays out. Are there extra benefits of buying those merchandise with Doge coin? So if I could see our next headline there, we'll be looking at that. It's not necessarily a headline. I'll be reading out and also enlightening us about the crypto travel rules. So that's a very interesting topic there. So we look at the crypto travel rules. So I'm trying to crypto travel rules. So after that, we'll look at DAO. So I will read this article on CoinDesk about crypto travel rules, and also you can make some research around that after now. The measure is to so we look at what the crypto travel rules and what does it mean for you. So the measure is essential to prevent bad actors from using digital assets to launder money. It affects everyone who dabbles in cryptocurrencies, from exchange to everyday investors. Almost 3 years after the controversial travel rule guidance was issued by the Financial Action Task Force, that's FATF, regulators and virtual asset service providers, that's VASP, are still coming to terms with the economic and technical challenges of implementing these rules. While that's virtual asset service providers, VASPs, which includes but are not limited to cryptocurrency exchanges, wallet services, and crypto custodial solutions, are the primary focus of these regulations. Mass implementation is expected to slowly but surely impact how you interact with crypto. In this guide, we will be discussing everything you need to know about the crypto travel rules and how it affects your crypto activities. So we look at what this crypto travel rule is all about. In 2019, the Financial Action Task Force, an intergovernmental body that initiates anti-money laundering, that's AML policies for G7 and an additional 330 undeveloped countries, recommended a coordinated approach to combat money laundering and terrorism financing. The rule, formerly known as FATF, recommendation 16, number 16, requires virtual asset service providers to communicate the information of the originators and beneficiaries of crypto transactions that exceed a certain threshold. More specifically, the regulations require virtual asset service providers to exchange information regarding the identities of the originator and beneficiary whenever the amount transacted is above $1,000. In essence, whenever crypto worth over $1,000 is transacted between two parties, the crypto service provider of the sender is expected to communicate the personally identifiable information, that's PII, of the sender to the crypto service provider of the recipient, and vice versa. Why this is a given, member states can choose to interpret this guidance and implement versions that best suits their local crypto industry. For instance, the threshold at which the crypto travel rules kick in the US is $3,000. The rule comes into play when the value of the crypto transaction exceeds $3,000. In such cases, virtual asset service providers are required to exchange information regarding the amount transacted, the execution date, and the identity of the crypto service provider. Switzerland is known to have a strict version of the travel rule, where regulators require the identity of private wallets interacting with local virtual asset service providers. In addition to the extra information required by individual regulators, FATF recommends the following data ought to be transmitted back and forth by virtual asset service providers. Number one, the name of the sender and the recipient, the address of the sender, the account number of the sender and the recipient. The travel rule existed before FATF's 2019 recommendations. Initially, the regulation was targeted at banks and financial institutions as part of the initiative for mitigating money laundering. In essence, FATF action in 2019 only expand these rules such that AML regulations can be replicated in the crypto industry. It's worth mentioning that prior to this issuance of the crypto travel rules in 2019, Financial Crime Enforcement Network, that's FinTech, under the U.S. Bank Secrecy Act (BSA), had imposed a similar rule on virtual asset service providers operating within its jurisdiction. Hence, unlike most nations, the U.S. did not need to formulate a new regulation from scratch to comply with FATF's recommendation under this rule. FinTech requires crypto asset service providers to confirm that crypto transactions do not originate from or are not sent to sanctioned countries or companies. So let's look at why is the crypto travel rule important. So we'll be able to look at why is it important. You saw on that article that it's just to mitigate money laundering and terrorism financing. Let's look other ways that this particular rule is important. So you look at this, as mentioned earlier, the core purpose of issuing this regulation is to block terrorist financing and money laundering. Below are some reasons the travel rule is important. The travel rule ensures that crypto businesses adhere to sanctions. It makes it easier for law enforcement to souvenir transaction data. It is the first crypto regulation implemented globally, and it could potentially open the door for more uniform crypto regulation. So let's look at some of the challenges with this regulation. The first challenge associated with the crypto travel rule revolves around a non-uniform approach, the implementation of this regulation in different regions. As mentioned earlier, the requirements of the travel rule differ from country to country. Hence, virtual asset service providers are burdened with the task of incorporating robust self-compliance system that would consider the different requirements of various countries and implementing them accordingly. The non-uniformity of the crypto travel rule is popularly called the sunrise problem. Bearing in mind that virtual asset service providers are required to exchange transaction details, this is a need for an interoperable communication system such that virtual asset service providers can easily receive and send PII. This means the entirety of the crypto industry must embrace a collaborative approach to come up with the ideal data and communication standard. So, what does this mean for you? I just want to sum up this article. What does this mean for you? The first thing you should have at the back of your mind is that you may need to forgo part of your privacy to continue to interact with crypto market. So you are going to be looking at the privacy there, since the exchanges are going to be sharing your information with regulators. You will also have to know at least the name of your beneficiaries and those sending you payment. And since there are still challenges associated with the travel rules, there is no saying how the inefficiency of any of the compliance system will affect user experience. At the early phase of this regulatory revolution, you may be unable to execute transactions depending on the compliance status of your virtual asset service provider and that of your counterpart. So that's the summary of that particular article there. So it's very important that we look into that particular crypto travel rules. So that's how far we can go with the headline for today. So I've been able to read out some articles and also throw more insight on each of the trending headlines. So I just have something for us that we're going to be looking at. That's DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. I thought it wise so that we'll look into this and understand it. A lot of people have been asking me this question: what is DAO and how does it really work? So after this short break, we are going to be looking at DAO. What is DAO and how does it work? Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. I'm your host Lee, and do well to follow us across all the social media at Cnetv1 so that you will stay updated on trending headlines in the industry. The show has been going well, and I know you are enjoying it too. It's a way of helping you get started for the day. Good Morning Africa is a weekly show, so it comes your way every weekday, 7 a.m. West African time. We'll be looking at what we have for today. DAO, DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So very interesting topic there. And if you are in the ecosystem, you'll understand that a lot of people are talking about Decentralized Autonomous Organization, DAO. If you look at that, DAO is a rule encoded government. So imagine when you have a government that is encoded, so they are on codes. And so that example of that DAO was the recent example that I can cite about DAO is the Luna new blockchain. So that's an example of DAO. So the community voted around that. So decisions are being distributed. So now everyone has ability to make or contribute to decision making of that particular company, project, startup, whatever it is. So decentralized autonomous organization is a way of having you like imagine when in a nation everyone can participate in making government decisions, not only a few individuals making those decisions. So an article here on DAO. I'll be reading and I will also be explaining what it is. This article is trying to imagine a way of organizing with other people around the world without knowing each other and establishing your own rules and making your own decisions autonomously, all encoded on a blockchain, where DAOs are making this real. Let's look at how Wikipedia defines DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, as an organization represented by rules encoded as a transparent computer program controlled by the organization members and not influenced by a central government. As the rules are embedded in the code, no managers are needed, thus removing any bureaucracy or hierarchy hurdles. Some of today's internet users and the next generations are looking forward to starting social organizations, searching for an answer to how can we exchange values in a trusted environment. Blockchain enables automated, trusted transactions and value exchanges, but even so, internet users around the world want to organize themselves in a safe and effective way to work with like-minded folks around the globe, according to Ethereum. Bitcoin is generally considered to be the first fully functional DAO, as it has programmed rules, functions autonomously, and is coordinated through a consensual protocol. Of course, not every DAO has been as successful as Bitcoin. So those are, unfortunately, the code used in DAO has certain issues. So there are challenges associated with this. So let's look at what makes DAO different. So what distinguishes DAO from other organizations? A DAO financial transaction and rules are recorded on a blockchain. This eliminates the need to involve a third party in a financial transaction, simplifying these transactions through smart contracts. So smart contract is another thing we should also look at, because it's very, very important. Smart contract, you don't need it. Smart contract eliminates the need for a middleman. So what happens is that you can establish a contract with coding everything on the blockchain network. So what happens is that A and B comes together. For example, if it is to buy a token, I have a token, you have a cash, so it's been placed. I encode it that once you perform your action, the system releases what you have given to it to me. So there's no need for middleman again. So smart contract eliminates that and makes it so the trust is being built on codes, and which is being embedded on the blockchain network. So the firmness of a DAO is a smart contract. The smart contract represents the rules of the organization and holds the organization's storage. No one can edit the rules without people noticing, because DAOs are transparent and public. Up to today, we are used to companies backed by legal status. A DAO may perfectly function without it, as it can be structured as a general partnership. In comparison to traditional companies, DAO have a democratized organization. All the members of a DAO need to vote for any change to be implemented instead of implemented changes by a sole party. So that, like I said, that happened during the Luna. It's now new blockchain, Luna 2.0, where 65% of the wallets voted for a new blockchain that gave birth to Luna 2.0. So we're looking at DAO. So I will still continue looking at DAO. I don't want us to rush everything. I'll be bringing more about DAO. What are the challenges facing DAO? Or what are ways you can participate in a DAO? What companies or projects are really using DAO? How can you really build your own project around the DAO? So these are more we'll be looking at our next edition. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be looking at DAO. Let's see how DAO plays out. For now, I just want you to understand what DAO is all about. That decentralized autonomous organizations. Everything is going to be decentralized, just like the blockchain is. So decision making is going to be decentralized once you use a DAO. You don't need to depend on certain individuals to make decisions for the organization of project. So in this situation, everyone is carried along. You are a decision maker once that project is on DAO. So you have certain amount of tokens. Your power depends on the number of tokens of that particular DAO that you have. That way you can make decisions. So thank you very much for that. I hope you really understood what DAO is. So if you have questions, do well to drop them on the comment section. I will not be taking them live here. I will be going through them later, and if I will be able to provide answers and come your way with those answers tomorrow. So do well to follow Cnetv across all our social media, all social media on the handle Cnetv1. So we'll go for a short break. When we return, I'll be summarizing all the trending stories and what we have done for today. I will be calling it a day. Hopefully we'll be having a guest tomorrow who will be throwing more light on some of the headlines today and the ones that will be coming up with tomorrow. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. So what we are here for you, trying to help you get started every morning. This show runs every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. West African time. So it has really been an interesting conversation so far. I brought you different headlines. We first started with introduction. We now went to motivation for the day. Then we now looked at different markets, cryptocurrency markets, FS, commodity, and stock market. So we also looked at news headlines. So news headlines, we didn't have guests today. We looked at DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And so we are summing up. I also remember we brought you some of those trending headlines last week. So we were able to do a recap of what really happened last week. So we brought you some of those headlines. Let me go through the headlines again. Thailand's biggest bank, Siam Commercial Bank, is using DeFi compound finance treasury yield services. Luna 2.0 launch. So how did the crypto market react? Price update on Luna, which we looked at briefly. Industry leaders lament as Nigeria hires a foreign firm to develop national wallet. Elon Musk announces on Twitter that Tesla merchandise can be bought with Dogecoin. Soon, SpaceX merchandise will join. We looked at Starlink approved by Nigeria and Mozambique. Elon Musk made this known on Twitter. So we looked at what crypto travel rule is. So I read some articles around that and I did a little explanation about that. So that's what we brought you today. So tomorrow is going to be another interesting day. As usual, no dulling moment on our morning show, Good Morning Africa, where we help you get started. Do well to follow Cnetv across all social media as Cnetv1. You know, we are here to give you all the updates around blockchain, crypto, and fintech in Africa and the rest of the world. So do not miss out. Always hook up to know what is trending and what is really happening in this industry. I'm your host, Lee. So I'll be coming your way tomorrow, 7 a.m. West African time. Do not go anywhere. We have other programs lined up for you today. So just stay tuned to get the headlines and other news and interesting programs lined up for you on Cnetv. But for now, bye. I will be coming your way tomorrow morning. Stay blessed.